Think of videos as like an investment. Like right now, you guys have invested money, you guys have invested time to increase your knowledge so you can actually make more money and get more clear. So you're not guessing your way, you're not stalling yourself, you're not having this opportunity cost arise right in front of you.
Rahul and the guys at GSD. They do a phenomenal job, phenomenal service. They taught a bunch of our guys, I guess, like how to market themselves better, how to really dial their offers, and how to kind of get that kind of paid ad strategy going. Right now, paid ads is like paid book funnels. It feels like kind of like a mystical unicorn.
Hello, my name is Kat Howell, and I want to give a big shout out to Cody Getchell, who has been able to smash through an industry challenger series that has been set forth for some of the best Facebook media buyers in the industry.
What's up, everybody? My name is Mikey, and I just wanted to take a quick minute and give a shout out to Cody and Rahul. So before meeting Cody and Rahul and taking their course, I was beating my head against the wall. I was in a scared place because I didn't know how to close sales. I didn't know how to talk to clients or prospects, more so. I didn't know how to prospect to get people even to the point of wanting to talk to me. And so I was really at a point where I had no way of generating income for my business. And that all changed by simply taking their course.
I want to talk a little bit about how people actually succeed when they're looking for a mentor, when they're looking for coaching. Now, it might seem a little counterintuitive for me to be telling you when people shouldn't go for mentorship and coaching, because that's what we sell. But that's what I want to be, is straight with you, honest with you, and tell you what to do, because that's what I want to see, is your success.
Look at video as also an asset. Each one you do now actually explains what you do with clarity to your target audience. So now you don't have to say the same shit over and over and over again. You can start sending these videos in emails or put it on multiple social platforms, your website, your blog, wherever. It can get shared. So now you got this massive free distribution channel. And if you want to amplify it, you have paid traffic.
Look, our culture is all about taking action, getting shit done, not letting trying to be perfect stop you from being great.
Portland has 3 timeouts left. The Lakers have 2. Bryant to shot.
We're a digital marketing agency that helps coaches, consultants, and business owners scale their ads. Then on the GSD side, we have a coaching program where we teach you how to run an effective and profitable agency or coaching consulting business.
All right, guys, so if you've ever seen any of our content inside the GSD family, you've heard me talk a lot about this scary offer. All right, this is the core premise behind everything you're going to do for your organic marketing, for your paid traffic, all of that stuff. It's what we teach our students at the very beginning of everything, so that we can create a high ticket offer that attracts your ideal client directly to you.
Hey, huge shout out to Rahul and Cody with the GSD team. You guys are absolutely amazing. I just want to say thank you, first of all, for everything that you guys have done for me and my business. I was in a very troubled spot at the beginning of the year. You guys were able to help me out. Your program is absolutely amazing. Whether you're new or you're experienced, there's stuff in there for everyone. And that's why I love the GSD program so much. I've tried other coaches before. And they just didn't have like the personal touch that I was looking for. You know, I needed someone to take a look at my business, figure out what I was doing wrong, and then give me actionable steps to move forward with that. So for all you guys out there, like if you're considering jumping in with GSD, or if you're on the fence with it, I would just say go ahead and do it. You know, jump in both feet first. You know, you have to invest in yourself. You have to invest in your company. You don't know everything, and what we do as entrepreneurs, you know, we want those quick solutions, and we have to be able to find a way to get those shortcuts to get to our goals ultimately. But thank you guys so much. I appreciate everything that you guys do. You guys are amazing.
The first pieces to the puzzle: offer, which leads into organic and can lead into paid. And I'm not saying you have to prove shit out in organic and then you go over to paid. You can jump right into it. If you have the budget, if you have the capabilities to do it, the offer can be fluctuated into the others, but this is a roadmap that you can follow to slowly earn your way up into scale, which is what we all want at the end of the day.
An order bump just simply means is when you see those little check boxes underneath the order form that says for an extra widget, for only X dollars, you get this. So for example, what we do is when people jump into our challenge, but what we have is you register for $49.96 for a challenge, you get access to our 3-day event, and if you add the order bump, you're gonna get our $35 million sales script framework that you can utilize for your own business. So now the order bump is $47. So now what this does, this liquidates our ads. We can, by the way, use all of this organically. We can update our profiles and promote it organically to the people we also already know and they like and trust us, okay?
If you're in this group and you're watching Raul and Cody on a regular basis and you haven't yet hired them, I can't think of better people to work with.
And by the way, everyone that works with Raul succeeds, by the way, for the record.
What's up, everyone? My name is Brad Newman. I want to give a big shout out to Raul and Cody for being the fucking best Facebook ads agency there is out there.
Think about is that if I had not made that investment, I would be stuck back there at 10,000, 12,000 for an entire month. Now, I not only have the income coming in, but I've also got the tools, I've got the connections, I've got the community, and I know how to make more money. So even if something was to happen like tomorrow, I'm cool because I know how to pick up the phone, I know how to do some organic Facebook stuff, and I know how to find my next client, and I know how to make more money. And that to me is priceless.
Impact, and just wanted to create a quick testimonial video for Cody and Raul. They've been absolutely incredible in servicing our clients inside of our 7-Figure CEO program and helping them with their paid traffic. And they are actually our preferred partner as well. And they are absolutely incredible at what they do.
Me and Andrew have actually partnered with Raul and Cody over at Custom Creatives because what I found is that this is a necessary part of growth, is entrepreneurs like yourself having front-end paid ads. And the most important thing when choosing and partnering with an agency is that the leaders of the agency must be teachers first.
He's adaptable across many different types of industries and niches. And if you get the opportunity to work with him, don't hesitate. Well done, Cody. Well deserved.
So hey guys, we're here with Rahul Alim of Custom Creatives. And I know a lot of you agency folks are struggling with generating more leads. Rahul, what's the answer?
I mean, I think the answer is really knowing and mastering your offer, your niche, your ideal customer, and then putting a predictable traffic source in place so you don't have to worry about those again.
So what does that mean for someone who they've only got a couple clients and they're trying to grow? When you say ideal customer, they don't know who the ideal customer is.
Okay, so what you're going to want to do is look at a piece of paper, write this down. We want to talk about who do you love working with from like an industry level? Can they afford your services? Are you capable of fulfillment? And that's pretty much the first level. Then we're going to write down something called the Dream 100, which will give you guys some worksheets so you don't have to really stress too hard on this video here. But that's how you identify exactly who you work with. So when you're doing your marketing, you're doing your offers, it's actually resonating with them right away. So it's easy for them to understand and solve their biggest problems, which is going to be lead generation for your clients as well.
Well, if you're an agency and need to grow in digital marketing, you've got to get in this group. Rahul and Cody and all of us here, we are generating 100K of revenue in this GSD challenge. And if you're even not in this challenge, you've got to find out how this whole thing works, because this is how you grow. This is how you generate leads. This is how you maintain great customer relationships. There's a lot of people out there teaching folks how to do 7-figure agencies. And not to say that other techniques don't work, but with Rahul and Cody, you're teaching from their direct example, and because they care so much, and I've seen them over the years, this is a great program. And unlike what I teach, which is maybe very difficult and complex, their stuff is easier to follow. So especially when you are at the starting stages, just trying to get to 10K a month or trying to get to 80K a month, which brings you to be a 7-figure agency, These are the steps you need to follow.
Through their consistent coaching, they were always on top of responses. Anytime I had a question, they answered right away. They gave me every opportunity to learn about any way of handling objections, of, talking to clients, kind of controlling the narrative, really figuring out a way to connect with people, and then having certain strategies for different moments, whether it was getting the close and getting the contract signed, or it was discovering pain points and figuring out, what to talk about and what to dial in on and keep the conversation geared towards. And there's so much more to all this, and I'm kind of jumping around a little bit, but the bottom line is that the value I got from this course, I've already 20x'd. So, and that's, 3-4 weeks in, it's insane.
And of course, guys, like we talked about before, all of our students that have implemented this, that's how they've built their dream businesses. When the people have showed up, when the people get shit done, when they actually do the stuff that we give them and they put in the work, they're able to build businesses that they can rely on, businesses that crush it for them, businesses that allow them to live the life that they want, right? And what did I say yesterday, guys? We're building and acting. What are the next two words? We're building and acting as if. We're creating a business as if we're already that business. As in, I might be my accountant, salesperson, setter, and rep, but I'm still going to set up the SOPs and roles so that as I grow into it and can scale.
We're going to be running effective ads. We're going to be focusing on ROI. And I'm going to show you just one campaign, walk you through how we just 8x'd it just recently. Okay. So the first step is know your numbers, the outcome. Our outcome was to drive people into a funnel to collect information so they can join one of our challenges. So now we knew we had a challenge funnel.
It is very, very hard to basically accomplish the targets within this challenge, which includes scaling targets, it includes cost per lead targets, it includes the ability to work with webinar funnels and all of these funnels that online coaches and information products need. And Cody knocked it out of the park.
I know a lot of people in this industry, and I've had a lot of them, basically tested a lot of them out. And a lot of it is a bunch of bark but no bite. And I will say it's very, very hard, as Cody said, to find people that are good at what they do.
Unlike what I teach, which may be very difficult and complex, their stuff is easier to follow.
So definitely check him out. And if you haven't had the opportunity to work with him yet, you should.
That are insane legends in the field, and he's compounded all this information down into actionable systems. Hire him. Do it. Just take the next step.
One thing I really love about, what you guys have created too is like every single day you guys have a call, right? You're checking in on everybody in the personal group. You guys you get just so incredibly active.
Hey, we see a lot of agencies that are struggling because they can't get leads. They're working as hard as they can. They're not making money. Their sales conversations aren't closing. They have lots of tools and lots of crazy things to be looking at. We have got the answer for you on how you can get to $10,000 a month.
We've condensed 17 years of content just to get you there. So from sales, from positioning, marketing, offers, niches.
We implemented your guys' techniques basically when we hit the ground running, starting the agency last year. And within, I think it was 2 months, we had 44K in retainers. And organic outreach it's the golden goose that keeps on giving. Paid ads, they can flop, they get messy, there's a lot to it. But once you have a system in place that feeds your pipeline daily, it's something you can depend on. And honestly, your sales go up too because you're getting more appointments and you're getting better at your pitch, and it just kind of snowballs on it.
Look at that. What's going on, everybody? Guys like the intro, little upbeat music to get started. I've had camera difficulties, so today you don't get to look at a nice crisp Cody. You get to look at a weird webcam one, but that'll have to do.
Non-makeup Cody. Let's go with what it is. Non-makeup Cody is what you're going to see what he looks like. We're already starting off with the jokes. All right, so everybody, cameras on. Who's here? Are you guys people? I don't know if you guys are bots anymore. Is this AI chat GPT taking this shit over? Let's get you guys on here. Marco, Ty, Howard, Steve Vargas, Al, Julia, Marcelo.
We need to
get these cameras on. Wow, page 2 has a lot of people here. Andrea, Lewis, let's get those cameras on. Let's maximize our time together and get to know each other. So I like to see beautiful smiley faces, headsets, what your background looks like, all that kind of stuff. The laundry, we don't care. Just like to see you guys.
And the reason for that, guys, is because we're trying to be interactive, okay? You guys show up to these things not to listen to me talk for what can be a few hours, because we're going to go over a lot of shit, but you show up here to take action, right? Is that true? Thumbs up if you intend, at the very least, to take action on what you learn here today. Yes, yes, yes. Cool. Well, that starts with showing up, and part one of that is just getting a little uncomfortable. I've got a quote somewhere that I say a lot. Somebody tell me in the chat what you think it is about being uncomfortable. What happens when you just lean into it a little bit? What's the quote? Come on. Drum roll. Some of you people have seen me talk before. You grow. That's correct. You unlock greatness. Okay? The only place you can learn is in uncomfortable places. Being uncomfortable is the mother of success. Correct. And comfort is really the enemy of being amazing, because that's when you just give up on stuff. So this is step one. Put on your camera, talk to us a little, engage in the chat. Occasionally, I'm going to tell you to smash a 1 button. Just get used to it. It's a little weird, but we're going to do it anyway, because it shows me that you're alive, awake, and listening to the shit that I say. Feel free to also ask your questions inside the chat. If you're out there in Facebook land, drop some comments, hashtag live, hashtag replay, all of that good shit. Guys, today we're going to be going into some really good stuff. Tiny bit of background for myself, tiny bit of background for Rahul. I have been running Facebook ads for about 10 years now, an agency for, I guess, over that at this time period. And Rahul's been doing different forms of online advertising since, I don't know, the Stone Age. I think the first thing he sold was stone tablets that he carved advertisements into. Is that right, Rahul? I can't remember. I feel like that.
Yeah, like I used to be friends with Tyrannosaurus Rex now, but I started off in 2004. So I've seen a lot of changes from traditional. I was like at the cusp of traditional turning into digital, so I can see the best of both worlds.
And today we're going to be showing you guys specifically some stuff. So what have we done over the last year or so? I've had a couple of clients hit some really big marks. We don't work with a lot anymore on the agency side, only people who come by referral or that we think are a really good fit. Those specific people, a couple of them were coaches. One of them we helped get to their first $200,000 a month. The other one we helped get to their first $400,000 a month. And we don't just hit them one off. These are people that we helped actually get there and stay there. Why that's important is because it's not just about learning how to test, learning how to do one thing, one ad that works. It's about learning how to do all that stuff at scale, learning how to implement all those stuff in a system that progresses alongside of you as you're building it out. And we're going to dive into the strategy behind a lot of that today and get into some specifics. So if that's what you guys want, I think you're in the right place. Now, this shit can work for yourselves. It can also work for your clients. Who here has tried? Drop me a 1 in the chat. We're going to get started earlier. Who here has tried to run ads for themselves? Drop a 1 in the chat. A 1, what do we got? 4 people awake and 50 asleep. Good to know. Good to know. So we got about, all right. Now, out of all of you people that just typed a 1 in the chat, put a 2 in the chat if it worked and a 3 in the chat if it absolutely did not work. Threes. Got some 2s. Go. We got some people who are on some 1s. Now the rest of them are a little bit 3s. Now today we're going to tell you specifically how to make this happen. Now, what I find with agency owners and coaches specifically is we're very bad at doing the stuff that we tell other people to do. Okay, so what I mean with that when it relates to ads is we'll sit here and preach all day about how you should spend a lot of money. You need to scale up your ad spend. You should get more leads, more stuff in there. And then as soon as it comes time for our own stuff, we'll get a little bit scared. And we'll be like, you know what, fuck that. I can't keep spending that money. It doesn't make any sense. It's a practice what you preach. Do as I say and not as I do moment. I'm going to teach you guys a little bit about how to go through a testing phase today specifically that's going to help you avoid some of that problem. So I think we just dive right in. Rahul, any wise words from the Stone Age for us to sit on before we jump in?
Yeah, everything that we want you to do is like be interactive in the chat, be present here, cameras on as much as you possibly can. Get your pad of paper and your notes. And like, I don't like selfish people at all. So in the chat, I want you guys, when you hear something that you like, a note, don't think about yourselves. Write your notes inside of this chat of your takeaways, and then write it down on your piece of paper, just so everybody can learn from each other, right? We just want to see who's paying attention. And the point of these master classes is to not help us, because we're already going to do this without anybody, right? It's to help you guys open up your minds that this is a unicorn. It is fucking hard. It does take skills. Boosting posts is not running ads. And if you are a marketing agency and you don't know how to run ads, you will be fired. So it is important that we catch on to all of this stuff, because there's a good way, there's a bad way, and there's a way you can actually fix things that aren't working. And that's really the marksman of a good advertiser, is really not doing things that are already going to work predictably. It's what to do when shit stops working. How do you pivot? How do you modify? How do you control your client? How hard is that? Have you ever had those conversations? These ads are not, the leads aren't coming in. They're not qualified. All that bullshit, right? Does that sound familiar to anybody? Have you guys lost a client because of that?
Drop a 1 in the chat if you've ever lost a client because of the shit that Rahul just said. And if we're all being honest with each other and you guys are agencies, you should all be putting 1s in the chat.
Yeah, any human has a 1. You're like, when you get a client, they're going to fire you at some point. Our job is to make sure they stay as long as humanly possible and make them as sticky as humanly possible, because you guys are powerful as marketers. I said this earlier on my inner circle call, but you guys control families' incomes. Your marketing skills are good. You get clients leads and ROI. You're controlling where their kids go to college. That's how important you guys are, right? So the better we up level, the more we can obviously charge, but then think about the impact that you guys have to other people's families. And think about the obligation you have to get good and the obligation you have to go get clients, because you know you're better than who they're going to use. Okay. So with that being said, let's get that motivation going and let's fucking do this.
All right, guys, let's go. So to start with, what we're going to do, couple little things actually. One, first, I want everybody's on camera to do this. Just shake a little. Just shake a little. Be weird.
You got to sing that Tay-Tay. Shake it off.
Shake a little. Why? Because I need you all to wake the fuck up. And I'm sorry I curse sometimes. I'm in Canada. You got to excuse my French. I got to shake it out a little bit, give the energy up to the head so that my eyeballs are paying attention and we're doing this shit. The other thing is we are transparent people. Imagine that. Well, there is going to be offers in here. Oh my God, who's surprised? Drop a 1 in the chat if you're surprised. Wait, nobody? Okay, cool. But we are going to give you a whole bunch of other shit today that's going to be absolutely amazing. There's going to be some stuff along the way where it's going to be like, hey, do you want us to help you more? If you think that we're awesome, maybe we can progress together. It's not mandatory. You don't have to say yes. If you feel offended by it, I apologize, but it's going to happen throughout. But I do expect along the way, no matter what you do today, that you're going to leave this call 100% more knowledgeable and capable than you came to this call. That's my intention. So if we make that happen, I think we'll call this day a success no matter what else goes along the way. Sound good, everybody?
Is that an agreement? Type a 2 in the chat if that's an agreement. Let's get this keyboard going. Break some numbers.
There we go. I'm 3 more. Prove that you guys are alive. There we go. Cool. All right. Well, let's dive into it, guys. What are we learning today? We are learning the $400,000 a month soap ads method. I want you to learn how to master your offer and paid traffic. I'm going to repeat this a few times. This is for you and it's for your clients. Okay. We've done this successfully over and over again, not just for our clients to hit these big results you're going to see here, but for a metric shit ton of our GSD students to help their own agencies, their own coaching programs be able to grow. And it's super important on either side of it. We're going to be showing you the exact ads and strategy that we use to help our client hit a $400,000 a month, help ourselves hit about 20 plus consecutive $100,000 to $200,000 months, and help another client hit now 6 consecutive $200,000 months. These are the results that this stuff has been able to do. Inside the program, what we normally teach are all of these pieces to the puzzle, okay? Offers, organic training, paid training, frameworks for sales, systems to help you scale up. Today, we're going to be going right here. and right here. Okay, a little bit of offer and a little bit of paid so that you can be able to truly create traffic. Now, who here has never heard of the GSDs? Anybody in here not know, like, they're just like, who's this weird bearded guy at a weird angle with his shitty webcam looking at me right now and I don't get it? Drop a 1 in the chat if you have no idea who Cody is, you have no idea who Rahul is, and you don't know who the GSD is. Anybody? No? Cool. Oh, we got one person that we'll give an intro to. Love it. I like that. There's a lot of people on here who know us then, Rahul, so that's good. So this, well, I guess that's the Mac technology. I guess I can't complain about the Mac always if the webcam's not too bad. But what is the GSD all about? Well, it's getting shit done. If nobody knows what, I guess I keep using the acronym without actually using the words. It means get shit done. And it's not just the name of our program, guys. It is a culture built around taking imperfect action. I think the worst thing that people can do is spend all day procrastinating, and that is what it is, procrastinating, trying to make everything perfect before you pull the trigger on yourself, on your goals, on your life, and you end up just sitting around watching everybody else around you fail, create nothing but delays, create nothing but confusion for themselves. It's about putting in the work and being accountable towards hitting your goals. Everything built inside each level of our program is built to have either a community or a coach or a support system lift you up. It's about making sure that the rising tide lifts all boats. And it's about making sure that when you fall down, everyone does and it's okay. The community picks you up and carries you to the finish line. Some of you are trying to think to yourselves, Cody, I'm just here for whatever the hell you're going to teach me about ads. I'm not here to listen about whatever the rest of this shit is. But the problem is that's not true. You found us, especially since only 1 or 2 of you don't know who we are. You found us by joining our group, being in the VIP, being in the GSD. You're somewhere along the path. And so having knowledge is not enough. And I tell this to people all the time. I try to use this metaphor. I'm like, 2 people go to the gym. Okay, so 2 people go to the gym. Same body type, same motivation, same tools, same everything. They go to the same time, they go the same amount of time, and all of a sudden at the end of the 5 days, 2 months, whatever, one person comes out with the body of their dreams. The other person comes out no better off than they were before. And so I'm going to ask in the comments, right? You guys, some of you heard this story before. Tell me in the comments, what is the difference? How did one person use the same tools, same strategies, same situation, and come out way further ahead than the other one? Focus and implementation. One used a productive system, mindset, intentionality. The real answer here was given by Amir, mentorship. One person actually had a secret weapon. They brought a coach along to show them how to even use the damn tools in the first place. He went from a person wandering aimlessly, and I mean, how many of us, raise your hand, put a 1 in the chat if you've seen this person at the gym before, wandering from one thing, goes from chest, goes to legs, goes to over here doing push-ups, goes over here and hits the treadmill, and then wonders why after a couple of months they're a little skinnier than they were before, but nothing else looks any better. I don't know. Another one brings a personal trainer, a guy who's mastered this shit, mastered this equipment, knows exactly what you need to do every damn day in that amount of time to make you look the way you want to look. And yet still to the outside world, some people are surprised. Surprised at the fact that that guy looks good and that guy does not, even though they know what happened. It's a fast pass. You bought other people's information, and you guys are all sitting within communities. Leverage that support. Understand what we're all about so that you know how to use us. Shit like today is going to be amazing for you, but understand what else you can get out of it, not just by paying for shit all the time, but by leveraging the community and the family that you're a part of, whether that's our shit or whether that's somebody else's. It's always important to know where it is you're investing one of your 2 most valuable resources you get in life: money, time. You're putting one of them in here right now with us. Make sure that you understand who you're with and how you can make sure that you're in alignment with what they're doing. Now, part 2 of this is, if you aren't yet, we have a thing called VIP. Did you know that we have the power to turn you into a very important person? Something that I always found quite interesting was I can just give these things away. What do you get inside the VIP? Well, you get to sit in on meetings like this every single week with us. You get private Q&A sessions. So at the end of this meeting in particular, we're going to do a masterclass. At the end of it, we're going to kick everybody off, and only the VIPs and GSD people get to sit in and ask their questions. They get the dedicated Q&A time. They get us to go way further in depth so that if they have shit they need help with now, if they have shit that they need help with to move the needle for them today, we can make that happen for them. The other thing that they get is actually a full course, side-by-side trainings with us to sit on these weekly things, weekly direct coaching from us, like I just said, so they can actually ask the questions. A course that can teach you how to go out and actually get clients dedicated specifically to hyper-focusing you to go out there and get your next grouping of clients. An entire program built around a SaaS agency accelerator so that you can have a actual software as a service product that you can go out there, sell on top of high level and create an offer, create a system, create a community and make it work. All of this stuff is put together for, look at that number there, $7. So if you want to skip your Starbucks today, right, you can come over here, you can do it. If you buy it today, if you're not in there yet and you want to be a part of it, you skip Starbucks today, $7 now. It's $47 a month after that, after you get your trial month. You can cancel anytime if you want to, but I promise you, you won't. Some other people in here can attest to that. And you get to do a whole bunch of good shit with us, including getting some templates, some assets, and some stuff that's going to absolutely kick ass and take you to the next level. Our team is in here, Mr. Jason, Mr. Emad, and Mr. Rahul. They're going to jump off on here. They're going to put it on. I'd love for one, there's a bunch of you guys in the VIP here right now. Is there anybody here who's willing to just talk on it for just a minute? Now, we have in the past gone off on way too long of a tangent. So I appreciate all of you guys. If we could have one person, Jen, you raised your hand first. So you can go ahead and talk a little bit about what you've thought of the VIP room, just so the other people might hear it from somebody who isn't the guy who operates it would be good.
Yeah, hi everybody. I really love the VIP because it gives me not only the connectivity, I'm a big connectivity person, but it gives me the tools I need to move forward and the accountability. The group is amazing and supportive. I mean, I could go on all day, but I won't because I've been given clear instruction by what Cody said. I haven't found anything better. And I mentioned something in the comments and I'll say that really quick. It's not just having a trainer, it's having the right one. Because I was going to the gym and we were so frustrated because nothing was happening. It wasn't the right fit. This is the right fit for me.
Appreciate that, Jen. Thank you so much. I'm not going to harp on this very long, guys, but I would say, I know coffee's good. I mean, I'm staring one in the face right now. This is fantastic. This is good. But if you just don't go there today, suffer for one day, you can give that $7 to us and we can change your lives. I mean, we've helped plenty of people make their first $10,000 months, first $100,000 months, first $400,000 months. If you want that kind of knowledge for $7, I don't really feel like selling it to you because you either do or you don't. So do it. If you have questions about it, my people are inside the chat. Rahul, Jason, Emad, they can all help you with any questions you have before you hop in. Otherwise, we're going to get into the shit. Unless Rahul has something to say. I can tell when he takes a deep breath.
Know me too well. Yeah, so just to go back to the trainer analogy, stay on this slide. Look at that face right there and look at it right now. So it's almost like half the size in my mind. So I've taken our own advice. So I'm the dude that went to the gym that got fatter, not like bulkier, but fatter. And now I got the trainer and now I'm like lean and fit. So there's always those levels that get us to that next feeling. Sometimes it's like feeling good, feeling high energy. But when you're in your business, when you get your shit together, your fucking money together, life just somehow eliminates stress because money is the number one cause of stress. It's the number one cause of divorce, right? It's not a bad match. It's just that you can't pay your fucking bills. It's because we're not investing in ourselves. It all starts with us, right? People buy the damn iPhones, they buy Michael Jordan shoes, they buy the new purse. But why not just invest into your own fucking skills? You can buy the stock of the companies you buy from. Then you can become wealthy. And it all starts with one little step. For me, it's working out because we invest in ourselves so heavily that money is never going to be an issue for us. And that's what we want people to get out of this, is not just this training on ads, but the movement we're going for is that we want you guys to just say, hey, fuck the Starbucks for one goddamn day. And we're just going to go click that link, buy it while we're doing this. And then we'll give you a shit ton of value. I promise you that. Like this thing right here, we normally would sell for 60 or 39 or whatever dollars we normally do the master classes for in the past to $97 just for 2 hours. You're gonna get us for a long ass time, 4 times a week, baby. You're gonna see these smiling faces, these intense conversations, but we're gonna get you guys moving in the right direction. So join that VIP, and we'll kick it even longer today and do some intimate Q&A, and Cody will take the wheels.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't want to spend more face-to-face time with the GSD team? Come on, guys. And there's also all this extra shit that can make you all this extra money. Agency Foundations course, SaaS Agency Accelerator course. It's going to be amazing. But now let's dive into it a little bit. We're going to talk about the exact ads we've used to generate over 7 figures last year in a red ocean. The exact ad strategies we used to get our clients 400K and 200K months this year on repeat, and how to build and use these campaigns in any niche you choose. I'm also going to be talking about some testing strategies and how to link it to something at the end that allows you to monetize the entire list. Okay, we're trying to create stuff that's going to print fucking money. We're not trying to create something that's going to eat it. And we need to get away from the mindset of always chasing a front end dollar and think about how do we monetize the bag we're filling in the back. That is really the difference between success and not success. Now, real quick introduction, Rahul, for yourself. Most of these people said they know who we are, but go ahead and introduce yourself just a little bit anyway, and then I'll do the same, and then we'll dive in.
I'm just going to kind of just sit in silence and just say, I'm Rahul. Like, I have a pretty long resume, worked with a lot of people. Public, private, startups, and then GSD family. Now it's not about me going and getting clients because I don't care about what I can accomplish. It's more about what we help other people accomplish. That's now the new significance. And when Cody said the GSD is like a community, a culture, a movement, that's really what we're all about, is taking our compounded knowledge, our compounded like $500,000 in our own education of self-investment, and then narrowing it down to meet people where they are so you guys can get what you want. So that's really my bio.
Perfect. Yeah. And yeah, I'm Cody, founded a successful agency about 11, I guess, years ago. This part's important. Millions in ad spend, successful marketing campaigns, biggest names around. And the rest of the shit you get. We've won some awards. We co-founded some stuff. We own a couple things. The point is we're very experienced. This isn't people that we just, made this up yesterday, watched a $97 masterclass 2 months ago, and now we want to teach this shit to you. Okay, we're in the shit every day. We still have the agency. We're not just teaching shit we used to do. And it matters that we practice what we preach. So I want to talk a little bit about the old way, and I want you guys to be completely honest with me along the way. Okay, I've got the chat open. I'm staring at it. Make this shit interactive. All right. Number one, what did we do? It's the spaghetti method. Spray and pray. What do I mean by that? I mean, you create a bunch of ads that look good. You think up a bunch of audiences that seem like they make sense. And then you push publish, and you're like, in your head, you're A/B testing, but you're really not. You're ABCDEFG testing. And you're like, okay, as one starts to get a little bit bigger, I'll just kill the other ones until I've got something that wins. And in your head, that makes sense. That's the spaghetti method, the spray and pray method. And that's what most people do. They create a bunch of stuff that seem good, or one ad and a few audiences, or a bunch of ads and a bunch of audiences. They're like, okay, cool. Let's see if that works. Be honest and drop a 1 in the chat if that's something you do now or something you've done in the past. Ones, 3 of 60. I don't know. Yep, there we go. Let's be honest, people. Keep going. There we go. Good.
We all started with fucking spraying and praying, right?
And it's also fair, right? It's fair because without having a structure like the one I'm going to teach today, obviously that's what you would do. So I get it, guys. It's fine, but it's also, completely, you'll understand. My goal is that by the end of today, you'll understand without question why that makes absolutely no sense. Because I need you to look at that. The other problem is disconnected campaigns. Okay. What I mean by that is, maybe I've got a top of funnel thing over here, and maybe I send some emails to it. And then in a couple of months, I'm going to maybe send some emails over here, and maybe I'll retarget them now because, that makes sense. And so I'll retarget them, but with the same exact damn offer. And, it's all the same messaging, but I just want to follow them around on the internet have omnipresence and all these beautiful words that we get taught that we don't understand what the fuck they mean. And it doesn't work because it's not connected, and you're just pounding the same shit to the wrong person. So, a basic premise of marketing is get the right offer in front of the right person. We can all agree on that, correct? Yes? Okay. So then why do most people just continue to follow the wrong person around with the wrong offer? How does that help what you're trying to do? If you couldn't get your targeting locked down because you didn't test it correctly, your offer doesn't make any sense. Why would showing them the same thing, even with a tiny little of a different word, make any sense? It's completely unscalable. And the primary reason for why this is true is because of what I kind of hinted at the beginning. The first reason and the only reason that I really see 99.999% of people that launch ad campaigns fail with those ad campaigns is because they need it to produce front-end immediate revenue only. So I'm going to say that one more time. The primary reason, and I have run thousands of clients' ad campaigns, millions of dollars a year in ad spend, and the number one reason is when it comes to it, they can only be profitable and successful if the first front-end sales are profitable, which is fantastic. But the real money in ads, the real scalability from ads comes from what the hell are you doing with all the rest? What is all the rest of it? And who's here for my reverse high ticket masterclass last month? Who was here for that one? That was fantastic. Jen emphatically raised her hand. I forgot to say push a button. So push like a G or something. I don't know. Say shit in the chat, guys. That's the primary concept here. Because I can only see like 3 people. Looking forward to it. Hope you're keep going. Good. G shit. That's good. Welcome. Good. We got a couple new GSD or VIP people in here. Good. FYI, all the replays for all these masterclasses, we give those to the VIPs too. I don't know if I said that. But the replays of this, the replays of the private VIP sessions, and also any assets that you see along the way. So if you see shit that we're doing on these things and you ask us nicely for it, you get them. But guess who are the only people who get to ask us for shit?
VIPs.
Very important people. I mean, why would I want to talk to people who aren't very important? That doesn't seem like a good use of my time. I just want to talk to VIPs. So you guys can have all that shit. Now, the point here is why I'm bringing that up is because on that, I talked a lot about how the old way was the funnel and the new way is the flywheel. And the funnel has this intrinsic, unescapable truth that you're really only monetizing like whatever ends up here and you're just ignoring everybody else. So you can create a scalable product that way if you're monetizing the back with a lot of the other shit. But with the flywheel, you can really make that happen. Now, no connection with the sales team. There's some kind of weird built-in thing. Now, a lot of you guys have probably not worked at bigger teams, or if you have worked in the corporate world, this happens a lot. You might be new to this, but as you grow and as you start to experience this thing called building a sales team along with your marketing department, they tend to fight. There's just a constant like blame game going on, and this creates disconnect. So a good leadership capability for you to have in your own company is to really start to learn how to avoid that. Now, Rahul and I are both in both sides of it. We're both good at marketing. We're both good at sales, but we both tend to lean towards one. I lean towards the marketing. He leans towards the sales. We've created great communication. Occasionally we do this, but eventually we're good partners. So we try one and it fucking works or it doesn't work. And we laugh at the other one and we move on. But when you build sales teams who aren't a part of the ownership, so what we have found, right, is, sales are very much, and I love you guys because some of my sales team are on this, love you guys. But what happens with sales teams is they really think a lot in the micro because that's their job. They're trying to set appointments with the people you're giving them right now. They're trying to close the deals with the conversations you had today. And a marketing department can listen a little too heavily to that and make huge adjustments based on something that was just happening in that particular day. So why that matters for ad campaigns, and what you should be doing is having consistent feedback with the understanding with your sales team to take a macro view, because things are going to change on a day-to-day basis, always. So we need to take a data-driven approach, but with feedback from the people who are on the front lines. If you're fighting one another and just blaming one another and telling each other that your advice is useless and I'm going to just do my own thing anyway, the system is not going to scale. Because either the sales team will start not calling the leads and ignoring your bullshit, or you'll make adjustments that don't make any sense because you don't understand it. But create a system where everything communicates correctly, you'll be able to do it. Which leads us to the new wave. Rapid fire testing, which we're going to introduce in a second, which is isolating variables and testing things step by step so that we can learn who the right person is, We can learn what the right offer is, and then we can invest our time and resources into the heavier resource-driven aspects like fancy funnels, videos, copy, and all the rest of that shit that takes time, money, and all the other important resources we have once we have the right offer in front of the right person. But you can't do that unless you're isolating variables and approaching it with a very systemic way. And we'll talk about that in a second. Part 2 of the new way is connected top of funnel, middle of funnel, and organic campaigns. What that means is we should be filling up all of our buckets. We should be meeting our right person with the right offer where they are in their customer journey with the flywheel and the type of campaigns. And we should have some sort of built-in nurturing system. That can be Facebook groups, that can be email campaigns, that can be periodic free trainings on a Zoom, wink, wink, as he looks at all the people who are from all those different areas. Understanding, I like to get meta with you guys sometimes, just so you guys can start to like stop listening to what I'm saying and thinking about how you got here as I'm teaching it, because it's important. Taking that and introducing communication with the team. Do you know what we just did in the GSD half an hour before we hopped on this call? Rahul, what did we do half an hour ago with the full team, the full marketing department, the full sales team? What happened?
Bullet point number 3, looked at a flywheel, strategized, planned, and we're about to track everything so we could properly scale.
Yeah. We laid out responsibilities. We sat there and we we communicated, here's what we did, here's the goals we had, and here's your individual responsibilities for the next few hours and for the aftershocks that happen over the next couple of days so that we hit those goals. Communication. What did we do as a marketing department? We promoted this organically, paid, and through other methods for the last 2 weeks. Sales department did their job by talking to us the whole way through, selling some people in, getting people registered, today getting people to show up, and then afterwards getting people sold. That's it. That communication aspect, by having us working together and adjusting based on data, works. And finally, tracking everything properly so you can scale. I usually don't shout out softwares that I don't have an affiliate link for, but when you're ready for it, just go get Hyros and save yourself a headache, honestly, because the broken system of the rest of it really isn't going to work. So either get that or get something similar to it, but make sure that you've got something that can track it. Everybody in the GSD also has the ability to use the data dashboard so that you can link into the organic aspect of it as well. But for the paid part, I said Hyros right there. Yeah. But what you guys have in the GSD too, we've built up the KPI dashboards, the data studio dashboards, and all that kind of shit. You can link in some of the other stuff, but get something so you can track it, know what's actually working and scale. You need to be able to attribute, not high rows. Yep. Yeah, we need to be able to track it so we can invest the money into the right spot. That's it. Now, let's start. Scary offer formula, because everything starts with being able to get the right offer in front of the right person. So some of you guys have probably seen this 100 times. I'm going to go through it again. The scary offer, guys. Number 1, 90% of the success of your campaigns truly comes down to the strength of your offer. But for some reason, most people spend 90% of their time working on the rest. I want you to once again be honest. Okay. I always stop the screen share for this shit because I like it when people are honest. Tell me in the chat, raise your hand, say it was me, drop a fire emoji, whatever the hell you want, but be honest. If one of the last campaigns you built, the majority of your time, 80 to 90% of your time, you spent building a funnel, writing some copy, making an image you thought was going to work, maybe shooting that VSL or shooting that video ad that you were going to do. And 10% of the time, it was almost like an afterthought was the offer. You're like, oh, this will work. I know this industry. I know my customers. I know that this will work. This will be the thing that. And so you wrote that thing down. You're like, oh, this is what I'll give them. And then you spent like 10 minutes on that. And then immediately after, you spent the next, probably, if we're being honest with some of you guys, 2 fucking weeks or a month building out all the rest of the assets until it did it. 2 people, I'm gonna call you all liars. Drop me some hands, guys. Somebody else, tell me that this. Yeah, okay, there we go. Yep.
It's not even just for ads; it's for everything, right? Because I talked to a lot of you guys. A lot of you guys need help with your own offer, you know, like so. It has nothing to do with just ads itself. It's just like sometimes your buyers have no goddamn clue what you guys are currently doing, that you can't even sell it organically, even to a referral. So when we go over the offer part of this, like think about it just in general, the offer, because a lot of us hear like, oh, I'm interested in a website. And you're like, oh, my websites are responsive. My websites are WordPress. My websites have 16 fucking plugins. But guess what you just did? You jumped down the throat. You have no idea what the problem is. So we got to put ourselves in the situation of the problem as to why do they want this thing? What would their life look like if they solved it? What would their life look like if they continue down the same exact path? Then we close that gap with our offer. So it's a little bit more intelligent, right? Like I'm sure Costco probably, I'm using my Costco analogy. I'm sure Costco took a shit ton of time to sell a fucking hot dog for $1.50 with a soda, right? They didn't just say, hey, let's just throw a hot dog and a soda machine out there and get people in the door. That was probably a lot of testing. Then they had to strategically place it in the store. Then they got the chickens. Now they got a second offer, and that's on the back of the store. So they lose $40 million. So you have a $400 cart just by losing negative $40 million in chickens. So they have a foot in the door offer, and then they back it into their back end revenue. And that's what ads are for.
And it's super important, guys. I mean, even with content, some of you guys on the GSD, we do the content call every week. When I write long form content, I spend the first 10 minutes every time I do it with you guys writing like 5 or 6 headlines, hooks. I think pain point, 5, 6 hooks. Then I take the best one and I go and I spend another 10 minutes writing. So the same amount of time, but most of the thought should go into that, because it's with ads, with content, with images, with everything. Most of the real estate you're shown on this tiny little device called a cell phone nowadays is about 2 lines of text, an image, and then 2 more lines of text. That's your offer. That's what moves the needle more than anything else. So if you're spending all your time on something that doesn't matter and then it fails, you got to go do all that shit again. And so we're going to get into this today. The first part of this is really what's the quickest, easiest, hardest hitting type of campaign I can get up to find the right person for the right offer. Worry about the rest of the shit later. And I'm going to keep saying that all day to drill it home, especially you newer guys who might not have a team. You only have so much time to be able to invest in each thing. Every time you do the way you're doing it right now might take you 2 weeks to a month for a new thing. Do you really want or have enough life in front of you to keep doing that? Or do you need a way to be able to test it rapidly to be able to find some shit and then invest all those resources at the next one? I want you to think about that and eventually put your answer inside the chat. Now, we need to come up with some scary offers. Doing that will make you about 10 times as successful. Now, first thing you got to do is do some research, okay? Part of the scary offer formula, which is over here, is customer language. But for some reason, we don't do that. Marketers somewhere along the way forgot how to be marketers. We always, and I mean, me and Rahul are bad at this too. We always shit on universities and schools. And I actually have, a marketing degree with honors in marketing and honors in accounting. And I still shit on it because I should have just gone out and ran a business. But I will say one thing that you get from business school and all that shit that you don't get from learning it the way we all do it is because a lot of people don't tell you is the basic shit that you should be doing as a marketer, which is customer research, talking to your customers, learning their language, learning about their products and shit. We make a lot of assumptions because we learn skills first. We don't learn basic foundations and any of that shit that they would teach you inside of the school. And so we need to go back to the basics sometimes and learn. We got to do research. We want to be able to talk like them. This is how we induce emotion. We all know people buy with emotion, but how do you induce emotion? If you can't talk their language and tell them your own words back to them, how are you supposed to get that? So we're doing some research. How do you do this? Pay for an hour of somebody's time. Take them out to a research lunch. Existing clients, give them something like a free Google review campaign, a $50 ad credit. Existing clients, make sure you have an onboarding survey. We get our best information from an onboarding survey. What do? Every 6 months or so, we have one of our VAs or an assistant take our onboarding surveys, create word maps, create different kind of things where we say, these are the keywords that popped up the most. These are the things, these are the reasons they bought from us. These are the ways they found us. And we take all that information and we actually adjust our marketing language based on it. New clients right here, offboarding clients, like it's not in here, but anybody that you offboard and cancels on you, send them an offboarding survey for the same reason. And I cannot express enough this last one. Your sales calls will give you more information than anything else. Even like the ones that don't buy from you will be your best marketing tools. Because if you can actually go back and listen to it, they're going to tell you how to sell the next person. If you listen to your sales calls and 3 or 4 of them all say the same shit for why they didn't buy to you, guess what you do to sell the next one? Can anybody answer me? What do you do the next one? You can put it in the chat or you can speak out loud. I promise you I won't yell at you. Or we'll just sit here all day. I'll stare at all your beautiful faces and we'll just wait.
You cover it in the next sales call.
Exactly. You just cover it. You reverse it. You take all the shit you did wrong and you don't do that. Right? Don't overcomplicate shit. There are 3 people tell you, hey man, I just, your shit sounds really good, but it's just too much. I only had, $750 a month and you wanted me to pay $1,250. I'm simplifying it and going back to price. We get the idea. The next person, you price it down until you actually show the value to go up, right? You do the opposite thing of what's causing them not to want to spend that money on you. And you learn that kind of shit from your sales calls. You can learn the way that they're describing their pain points back to you. What we want to research, the big 5, biggest pain points, biggest desires, what they've already tried. This is like everybody says, well, we're in a red ocean. Everybody's been burned by marketers. What do you think is easier to sell? Somebody who doesn't think they need your shit at all and doesn't understand the industry, or somebody that knows perfectly well they need your shit and somebody else already did it wrong? Most people, when I ask this question, when they complain about this kind of shit, is, oh man, if nobody's after them yet, they're going to be the easiest people to sell. I need that blue ocean. I'll just go and I'll be happy to do it. But I always say it's the other way around. Now you have the easiest way to make a sale in the entire universe. It's the one magic word that I always want. It's called contrast. You get to say you're the hero to their villain. And if you can find out what the villains are doing that's pissing them all off, you can make the scariest offer of all. Being the protagonist to their antagonist, because they've already got this sour taste in their mouth and they already know they need your shit. Couldn't be any fucking easier. You just now have to go out and be the opposite of all the bullshit they had before. If you learn that properly, you can implement it. Industry lingo, clients, ROAS, customers, roofs, installations, jobs. What does that mean? Normally, when you talk to marketers, what are they saying? I can get you leads, traffic. I can use Google ads. I can use PPC. I can do all this magical shit. What are those? Acronyms that they don't understand, words that they don't use. Shit like leads will make a person like a realtor's head explode now. They think that it's just work. They're going to instantly think, oh, you're just going to give me more work that I have to do that doesn't result in any money. But if you learn how to actually speak to them in the language they use, example, contractors are jobs and job estimates. Realtors are listings and buyers. Chiropractors are patients. Use the words they want, not the words that you learned. Don't use acronyms. Don't use marketing jargon. Use shit that connects with them emotionally. And the formula for this is a big end result, using customer language, adding specificity. Specificity is super important. Words like a month or every 30 days, there's a huge difference in the psychology of those two things when you read them or hear them. A month is okay. Every 30 days sounds way sexier. It hits harder for no other reason than we're adding some numbers and some specificity, and it just hits a little bit better as an offer. And you want to throw in some risk reversal. Another thing that we do now down underneath of this is we have a subheader, a sub offer where possible, where we can add it. And the sub area down here is adding in your USP as a unique selling proposition or your reverse pain statement. What I mean by reverse pain statement is by taking the thing your industry doesn't want to do or doesn't want to have to do, or the number one reason why they stopped working with the other people, and reversing it on your head. So unique selling proposition is putting a USP on. It's like, hey, we're going to teach you how to do this amazing fucking thing, and we're going to be doing it with the perfect stranger method that nobody else knows or has because this is our method. The reverse pain statement on the bottom would be like, okay, we're going to get you your first 5 without spending a single dollar on ads, or I'm going to do this thing for you without you having to learn a single new skill set at all, or I'm going to actually get you this amazing result and you're not going to have to work any single more hour in your entire life. It's just going to be produced for you without you having to do this thing. But you have to find out what the pieces to that puzzle are by doing the research. Is making sense, guys? Drop me one in the chat if this is lining up.
Yeah, and some of you guys might be thinking, I don't have clients, I can't ask them, right? Are there any of you guys like that? For the ones, just say me. If you don't have clients and you need some research, I'm just going to tell you the answer. Just call people. Google your type of industry and call people for a survey. Like I've been talked about this so many times on our lives and that we stream into the GSD group. You can just call the roofer and be like, hey, my name is Rahul. I'm going to be building this software and I just wanted to run it by you to see how useful it could be to get you more job estimates without having to pick up the phone or have a missed call after hours, so we can actually capture those and get you some more leads. It's going to be totally free right now, just to use a little bit of your time so I can build something bespoke to what would work for you. Market research, super duper simple. You make 30, 40 calls, you angle it correctly, they're going to give you their time. If you say it right, you get in, boom, within an hour, you have your fucking research done. Really, really easy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you guys have heard me pick up the phone live and cold call. You've heard me pick up the phone, close a client live that wasn't expecting the call, etc. So it's all simple stuff. It's literally just a matter of following the GSD culture and just getting shit done, right? So fuck, just do it. Forget Nike. Is get shit done.
I like just do it too. So here's a couple of examples, guys, that are basic. Real estate, get 25 guaranteed booked appointments every 30 days, give your money back. 25 guaranteed new patients, 30 guaranteed new members every 30 days, guaranteed 10 jobs every month where we work for free. You get the idea. Big end result, customer language, specificity, risk reversal, add a subheader down below. Create for your ads 3 or 4 of these. You're going to want to create more than one because we're going to have to test them as a variable. So create a few that make sense for you. Know your KPIs. We're not bullshitting our way through this. If you can't promise actual jobs for your contractor client, promise job estimates. If you can't actually promise job estimates, promise job estimate opportunities, right? Leads, calls, actual clients, and use the words that they would use to describe their thing. Once you get that locked down, make it a bigger promise because now you know your KPIs. The purpose of this is your scary offer is your conversation starter. It's up here. If they give you enough time, they're in the right situation and they pay you enough money, you can hit it. If they show up and they don't have one of those elements, you downsell them into your base camp offer. That's going to be your SaaS, your low ticket membership, the kind of stuff that we talked about on the reverse high ticket method program that we did last month. If you don't have that recording to go back and look at, drop a 1 or a 2 or a reverse high ticket or whatever in the chat. If you are in the VIP, you have the recording. If you're not in the VIP, then we'll get you into the VIP so you can get the recording down inside of it. Now, guys, we're going to talk about rapid fire testing. This is what I'm talking about earlier. What we're going to be learning in the new method is the isolation of variables. It's the first part of the actual ads platform. I'm going to take a look at a sheet over here. Okay, what we're doing in this is a very specific testing methodology where we're using a base setup for different types of, and this is directly from the GSD program, different types of campaigns you'd be doing for different types of clients, where you have a base campaign set up, and then you roll into what we call rapid fire testing. What we're doing is we're isolating variables. We're trying to find the right people. We're then trying to find the right offer. And then we're trying to scale with the stuff that takes a little bit longer. But we need, again, right offer, front of right people first. So what does this mean? Well, it means you start with a control ad, and that's a basic SOAP ad. We're going to get into the SOAP ads in a second, and the setup of the actual structure of the campaign before you guys start asking about that will be done in just a second. So we set up with one basic ad that we call a control ad. The control ad is just basically the right statement, the restatement of your scary offer. It's not a big complicated ad. It's like saying, okay, you've got 30, what did we say? Take this real estate one or this dentist one, 25 guaranteed new patients in the next 30 days or your money back, or we work for free, whatever you want to say on that. And you put it into a control ad. So early attention dentists, what could your practice do if you had an additional 25 brand new patients walking through your door every 30 days? We have an we take on exclusive dentists in your area. We just lost the person who had access to it. If you want to claim it, click here. Something very, very basic, because we're just trying to see if that offer works. What we do is we take that control ad and we create 3 or 4 audiences so that the same exact ad is in each of the audiences. What does that do? Somebody put in the chat, what do they think, what do you think the purpose of that is? Let's see if you guys are paying attention. Thank you, Brendan. It isolates the variable. It isolates audiences. Why? Because the only difference in the campaign in this moment is the people you're putting the ad in front of. The ad's the exact same. So the only difference right now at the beginning point of this is the audiences. So then we run it through. Now there's 2 ways of doing this: recommended ad spend, recommended impressions, clear distinction. The one that's the most important is clear distinction. These are mostly for if you don't have a clear distinction, you go from here. So what we're looking at is an ideal lead cost. My ideal lead cost is a 10. Okay. Then what I would be looking for is this ad going up to 30 and the other one's a 10? I would shut it off even before I hit these other ones up here. If there's a clear distinction in the audiences, a clear distinction in the cost per result that we're looking for, then you remove and you progress down further. If there's not, you wait a couple of days and you look again. Wait a couple of days, look again. When you finally get one, you move on and you'll be able to progress down here. Then we're optimizing, okay? We're pausing 2 of the least performing audiences and we're trying to have at least 2 or 3 winners to progress to the next stage. Stage 2, testing round phase 2. What are we doing? We're testing offers. And this is where we're going to take. So what did we do a minute ago? We built out, progressed through the offer. We said build 3, 4, 5 of these. Everybody following me so far? This part can get a little bit tedious. We're getting in the weeds. I want to make sure everybody's still awake. Put ones in the chat. Actually, fuck the chat. Fuck the chat. Everybody come on here. Wiggle around a little. We're going to get weird all day today. I don't know why I'm feeling weird. It makes me feel like you guys are live and we have energy. Shake it out a little bit. Shake it out a little bit. Emad, you work for me. You have to do it. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Yeah, there we go, buddy. Good. Now I know you're all alive. Good. So now we're into hooks and offers. This is really, really fucking important, guys. We have 2 audiences at least, and they have the control ads. We're going to leave the control ads in, okay? And we're going to create 3 to 4 more ads. And all we're going to change on those ads is the first 2 lines of text, and we're going to change the headline, the offer. That's it. It's a control ad. It said an offer. We're going to change that out. We're going to make 3 or 4 different variations of it, and we're going to run with it. We're going to duplicate those exact ads into all 2, 3, 4 of our winning audiences. Okay, so now we know we have the right people because we tested that and we isolated that already. So that variable is taken care of. Now we're creating 1 new variable and we're isolating just that change. Okay, so now we know we have the right people. We're testing a bunch of the offers. I'm repeating myself over and over again on purpose. Is this making sense? Drop me a 1 in the chat or a high 5 or a whatever. Ones. Good. So now what we've done is we're going to do the same thing. Recommended ad spend, recommended impressions. Again, guys, these are benchmarks. I get a lot of questions from people who like to take things very literally, but life isn't like that. So the reason you're getting 3 different things, here's a recommended ad spend, here's recommended impressions, and here's another thing that says clear distinctions, is because you need to be able to pull different levers depending on the information that you're getting put into you. Otherwise, everybody could do this as if it was a robot and you would just go from there. Again, the most important one is clear distinction. The most important one is understanding where are my CPAs under control. Okay, so again, if there isn't a distinction, we wait for it to hit around these things and then we just kill whatever the highest cost ones are. If there is a clear distinction earlier than that, then we kill them earlier. All right. And again, wait 3 days if it doesn't happen. Wait a few days. Why 3 days? Because most of you guys are probably rocking with fairly limited ad spend. And so it's going to take at least a few days to be able to start putting it in front of a lot of people. If by chance there's anybody in here rocking with people who are spending, I don't know, $20,000 a month in ads and up, you could probably reduce this quite a bit by just having enough spend on individual assets so that you can get a lot of these impressions a lot quicker. You can test a lot broader. But as a general rule of thumb for most of you guys, you're waiting about 3 days. And then optimizing. We're doing the same thing again. We're cutting it down. So I'd like to see us run with at most probably a couple of offers, depending on what you're doing. And we'll get into this in a little bit later. But for this kind of thing where the audiences, you can leave like 2, 3, 4. This one, you're really trying to get it down to about 2. You're trying to kill the offers, maybe 3, but you're getting it down to about 2. Everything else you're killing. Okay, so you've got your control plus a few other offers. You're seeing what you're trying to go with. Tracy says, is the distinction the overall cost or the opt-in percentage? Overall cost. So the distinction is the cost per result, cost per lead, cost per call, cost per whatever else. The opt-in percentage, the conversion rate, all that kind of stuff is a leading indicator. For these things that you're trying to do is you're looking at lagging indicators, which is the actual CPA. The only time you'd be looking at your leading indicators is in taking a step backwards from it is if your lagging indicators are just nothing and you're not getting anything or everything is overpriced in the whole campaign. If that happens, you really normally you just kill it. Like, okay, this whole concept was no good. Everything's overpriced. We got to cut it out. We'll go back to the drawing board and we'll start again. Now, once you have this, what have we done? What have we done to this point, guys? Somebody drop it in. What did we just find by going through round 1 and round 2?
Your people in an offer that works and headlines that work.
Right customer, right offer. Thank you, guys. Exactly. What's the most important thing in a marketing campaign?
Both of those.
Thank you. Thank you. Exactly. That is the most important part of a marketing campaign. Good. We're done. Drop mic, go home, right? No, it's probably not it. But yeah, I think we're close. You would be amazed at the really weird shit I have helped GSD students build successful ad campaigns for just by doing this. Okay. So it's not always about just being really good. You don't even have to be great at ad copy for this. You should be good at making an offer, but I just gave you the formula for that. So I guess we're done, right? But you need to have a way to know, how do I get the right offer in front of the right people? That's it. Now you can spend time investing in making it better. So because it takes so long to do all this other shit, right? All of these other pieces to the puzzle take a lot longer to do. Every other thing you do from this point on, and we'll go over how to make this simple: funnels, videos, long form copy, long form VSLs, all of this other shit takes time to invest in. So if you do that wrong, again, I can't emphasize enough that if you spend all the time doing one offer and you just assume you've got the right thing to put in front of the right people, if the market turns this finger into this finger, you're screwed, right? And you have to go back and do it all again. We want to avoid that. Cast the wide, simple net first and then go through. Testing round 3 is really testing round 3, 4, 5, because you're doing this, you're testing, again, taking all the stuff, building 3 to 4 new ads, and then isolating one: copy, image, headlines. You're doing separate rounds of testing for each. This is going to be an ongoing thing. So this is like, okay, now that I've got something that really works, let's try a few different long form copies and soap stories and see how that goes. Let's try some graphics. Let's try some headlines. Let's rotate through this shit and optimize as we run through. Little quick tip, especially nowadays, the number one thing that's going to affect anything is your image or your video. The way that they roll out the ads nowadays on the phones, that takes up about 90% of the real estate. And they don't have any text requirements or anything like that anymore. So if you go look at like our ads and stuff, and you'll see a couple of them in this presentation here in a second, you'll notice most of it is just the offer. You're putting a giant thing in the offer. You refresh that with some different colors. You refresh the image with maybe a different picture. That'll usually take your ad from fatigued to unfatigued. Everybody with me so far, guys? I know we're already an hour in this. We're still rocking this out. So drop me a fire emoji. I like fire emojis. They're my favorite one. If you're awake and we're still rocking out, I'm going to drum roll. Ooh, fire heart emoji. That's a good one. I have to save that one for later. So there's 4 people awake and 50 asleep. Got it. Good to know. Good to know. Good, good. One more. We'll continue. There we go. All right. Now let's talk about the customer journey and meeting people where they're at so that we can grow, scale, and create the flywheel. I know I keep harping on this, but the flywheel is a concept that I'm going to show you in a second, but also came from the Reverse High Ticket Masterclass last month. Make sure you've seen that. So buyer's journey. Well, there are typical things, okay? There is problem unaware. So problem aware, solution aware, interest has been expressed, and then finally, people who are purchasers and repurchasers. This is a fairly basic concept, but I want you guys to make sure that you understand this again. When you are talking to strangers on the internet, different platforms that you use will have different effects. Facebook, you're usually starting at stage 1. Google, you're usually starting right around here, maybe on 3, usually between 2, 3. YouTube, you usually end up around 2 because you're getting a little bit fresher, right? So just understanding platforms meet people with different intents. Campaigns meet people with different intents. Facebook group means they've probably already expressed interest. Strangers on Facebook means they're there to look at cat pictures, not learn about your coaching program, so you need to understand. So understanding that, that's how that works. Naheem, I see your question there. Everybody who is in the VIP will get the replay. If you're not in the VIP, somebody can help. So we want to build campaigns to each one. We want to connect with prospects differently at each stage. Unaware means we're going to be building some emotional story-based ad copy to tell them some shit or create an offer that absolutely rocks it out. Understanding problem aware is where we're going to use some community, some pain point and problem ads. But really what we're doing is we're creating soap ads, powerful hooks, conversion content, understanding sales. When they've expressed interest, we need to do group growth ads and list building ads. We need to drive them into our community, create free trainings, testimonials, and Facebook groups and retargeting ads. And then finally, when they're purchasing, they need to be nurturing communication with a powerful sales and follow-up process. All of this fits into the flywheel. And so we have inside the GSD, the evaluators, which is our free group. You don't know who the hell we are. And so then you end up in our free group. Makes sense, right? So you end up in beautiful places where we're doing, what are we doing all the time? Free trainings. So you obviously ended up in our group because you clicked on one of our soap ads or our group growth ads and you ended up here. And so free trainings will teach you a little bit about more who we are. The VIP, which is how you get to learn about us and if you even give a shit. It's a very easy first step. Skip your coffee this month. Actually hang out with these guys. See if there's assholes or they actually know what they're talking about, right? Makes sense. Then if you like us more and you want to scale further, you get to spend a lot more time with us by being in the GSD. And then eventually, once we get you amazing success and we help you the way that we try our very, very best to do so, you become what's called a champion. And you end up sitting on these calls and talking about how awesome we are, or, you know, posting a testimonial, or we do a student spotlight interview so that everybody else can see how much greatness you did. Then it shows our evaluators how to become beginners, how to become regulars, and on and on and on it goes. If you guys have been paying attention to us the last couple of months, we've really, really, really focused in on this. And a lot of you guys have come through this circle, through this process, through campaigns that came from here, group growth ads, soap ads that became group growth, that became free trainings that became here, and now your purchasers. Anybody in here read the book Ready, Fire, Aim by Michael Masterson? Raise your hand. Read that book? Ty's read it. Howard's read it. David's read it. Good. So he talks about, there's a concept in that book that he talks a lot about. That's basically, you know, the businesses that fail are when they're the ones that only view their purchasers as one-time purchasers. It's like, okay, I get one new customer and woohoo, and that's it. And everybody hates selling, so they think that it's bad to sell to your current customers, and they hate that they don't want you to go off, and it makes you feel bad. But the concept is, if you want to be a successful company, you want to grow at scale, you realize they're your best buyers, especially if you treat them well. They'll be the ones that will buy the next much higher margin, much higher value product. And so that fits in, right, to both this and this really, really well. Because once you have the right campaigns and the right methodologies behind it, and you're actually fucking helping people, those people become your best buyers. Making sense, guys? Again, drop a 1 in the chat if it's making sense, because there's a lot to be taking in. I know it's a fire hose to the face. I want to make sure you're all still awake. Good. Cool. So what we want to be doing is leveraging our campaigns to fill all our buckets, have all our lists, because these things, group members, email lists, chatbot subscribers, friends lists, allow us to create organic marketing, allow us to create paid marketing, and allow us to create sales team systems that all fucking work together. Imagine that. A team that fills the buckets that are needed, a setter who needs more people in the group every day, or more actual new faces on a 2-step, so you create a group growth campaign. a business partner who wants to throw a masterclass that actually has a few people show up to it. So we need to build up the email list a little bit and send out a progressive promotional sequence. A VIP freemium group members situation where we need more VIP members. So we create an easy, accessible, cheap upsell to the free masterclasses that happen every time when we put that together. Marketing and sales and ad campaigns that work together to push the overall flywheel forward. It needs to be systemic. It can't be isolated. When one thing works by itself, if it breaks, it's fucked. But if everything works together, pushing the next one forward, incremental improvements can actually go a long, long, long way. Because somebody helped Michael inside the chat. He says he wants to be a very important person. That was the weirdest way anyone's ever said the word very, but we're just going to brush right past it. Now, let's jump into some soap ads. Yeah, soap ads. I love the soap ads. So what the soap ads are primarily used for now in this overall campaign, guys, I really want to talk about this right here in rapid fire testing round 1 and round 2. This is your superpower. Easiest, quickest way to rock through these things. Why? Well, the main reason why is because we're using lead form ads and we're using high level as a quick, easy thing to just send out what we call an asshole text. All right. So it becomes super easy to set up. What we're doing is we're taking our scary offer control based ad that we just talked about, creating a very simple ad. Now, the ad I'm going to show you is not simple because this was the only one I could find today. And it's a one that was a little further in the process for our real estate department that we had. But the point is you would just build out like right here down. This would be the scary offer ad control ad like we just talked about. What we do then is we create a lead form campaign because we do not need to build a funnel for it. We do not need to shoot a VSL for it. We don't need to do shit. All we do is we have a simple control ad and we send it to a lead form. And we send them an asshole text. What is an asshole text? I'm going to show you in a second, but it's probably literally the simplest form of a communication that can reactivate a person who just opted into your system right away and give you some really good information about quality and about whether they're interested in the offer they think they were interested in. They set the appointment, you make the sale in a perfect world. But in a non-perfect world, sometimes the sales don't come right out of this first one, this first easy to use campaign. The point, though, is how do we get through this first couple steps of testing without having to invest a lot of time? How do I get the right offer in front of the right person, right? Make sense? Everybody see the simplicity of this and why this is the proper way to use lead formats? Yes? Cool. Now, I'm not saying you learn all this shit and then you automatically go and start doing the funnel and the VSL and all that shit. I actually tell my students all the time, hey, it's not broken, so don't fuck with it. Don't touch it. Because a lot of them want to immediately jump into, okay, cool, this is working great. I can't wait till I get the funnel and all that shit. No, dude, no. Run with this. Oh, you're getting calls booked at $50 a call. Oh, you're closing, brand new agency clients at $300-400 a client, and they're bringing in scary offer application process. It's right here. It's written on the slide that's on my screen right now. Scary offer application process. Oh, you're doing all this shit. It's simple. Absolutely fantastic. Good. Stay with it. And when you're running this kind of shit for your clients, guys, I'm gonna take this off my screen right now. Just look you guys in the eyes. When you're doing this shit for your clients, don't go build fancy shit because you feel the need to work. Okay? One thing that agencies and coaches are really bad at is sometimes we feel like we need to earn the money we're being paid. And to us, that means we have to work more hours and build more shit and do all of this other stuff. And sometimes we just end up breaking successful campaigns because of that. But what our job is to get the results that the person wants to get. And sometimes that means don't touch the ads. Like if it's working, just leave them alone. Oh, we're getting a really good CPA and everything's fantastic. Cool. Let me go build this other giant thing and try a whole new offer. No, man, just monitor it. You know what the data is telling you. You know it will probably get fatigued eventually and you'll have to swap it out then. That's what they're paying you for. They're not paying you for the 10 minutes a day it takes for you to look at it. They're paying you for the 5 years it took for you to learn how to look at it. And so it's super important for us to remember we don't have to work just to work. because we'll do that a lot. And all that creates is an unscalable, nonsensical mess, right? So we take this, we create the ad. What's the ad? A big image that says the offer, 30 appointments guaranteed every month. We make it rain, 30 guaranteed appointments with real buyers or your money back. Exactly this. Eventually, when you get into the round 3, you start building out some really nice shit where you talk about results you got, talk about pain points, talk about stories. But the first one, the control ad, is actually just this one. You're just making it raw. Then you create a simple lead form. All we want on the lead form is ad sent, meaning it needs to look identical to that. They click the ad to take an action. Let them take the action. No distraction. There doesn't need to be some giant thing on here that's different from the other shit you're doing. There doesn't need to be social links to go somewhere else. No more, like the image should be the image from the ad, the headline or offer from the ad. Click here to get the thing that you clicked here to get. That's literally it. You're just going to put it in, name, email, phone number. Especially for this first part, we do not need to add more qualifying questions to this, because what are we trying to do? We're just trying to get to learn our audience and our offer right now. So simplest, most frictionless way to get the information we want so that we can progress through the journey. That's it. Make it congruent, give it ad sent, make it easy. Then you put a calendar link on the thank you page. Basically, just something that is a simple thing that says, hey, book with our team right now so that we can actually do it. So Coach Lee is asking in high level, you've already gone off the tracks by saying in high level, because there's no funnel involved in this at all. This first one is just a lead form on Facebook. No funnel whatsoever for this right now specifically. The funnels can come later, but we don't want to even be touching a funnel for that. Here on the Calendly page, we can put a couple of little questions, the base ones, for what we want maybe as a qualifier, and have them book to actually get this, so that we can have a few calls as well to see if these are going to be good leads, and we can just continue with this. And then finally, we do an asshole text, which is just a reiteration of whatever offer you have on the actual ad right back to them right away. Why are we doing this? Is because I want our sales team, our appointment setters, our closers to literally wake up in the morning and see that we got 20 new leads last night and 10 of them said yes. I need to call them right away. I call them 3 times as a bulldog call. If they don't pick up, I reply to them through text in the high level system, and I book these people to go give them the thing that they say that they want. Imagine that, right? We're just trying to progress through. Some people book on an ad and they forget that they ever clicked on that ad. If they clicked on the ad, submitted a form, and replied yes to this text, they cannot give you that bullshit. So call them, book them, sell them. It also allows you to tell, if you're running this for your clients, it allows you to say, hey, I know you keep telling me everybody doesn't remember doing this, but look at all these people right here that said yes. These are all leads that are perfectly qualified. By the way, you didn't call any of them back like we talked about. Do your damn job, right? You get to progress the conversation with actual data instead of just relying on whatever excuses they might have, which helps for expectations, helps with moving the conversation forward. Now, how do we do targeting? Inside the GSD, we talk about doing 4 sets of targeting: who they are, what they do, data-driven targeting, and 3D. Who they are is interest-based. What they are, and also behavioral. So interest-based, are they married? Do they have kids? That kind of stuff. What they do, job titles, employers, associations, that kind of thing. Data targeting is customer list lookalikes. So lookalike 1% of a customer list, lookalike 1% of a lead list, that kind of stuff. And 3D is combining those things into something more beautiful. So you're taking it like a customer lookalike list, but then you're also must matching an interest. Or you're saying, if you're interested in plumbing and you also must match that you're a small business owner, you're probably a small business owner of a plumbing company, right? You're combining some of those things to create those other audiences. The other thing you can do is create a target of, if you have a Dream 100, look for influencers. People like Russell Brunson, for instance, has a big enough following that his name is an audience on Facebook because his fan page has a big enough following. So he spent $100 million or however many years building his audience just for you to go and target them with your shit. How nice of him. Very nice of him. Or Tom Ferry, who built however many millions of followers and spent however many millions of dollars building a whole giant list of real estate people for his shit, but he just gave it to you for free, like the nice guy he was, right?
How nice of them.
So nice of them, isn't it? All
So
that money
nice.
just for you.
Leverage everybody else's spend for your own advantage. So nice.
Mm-hmm. And then Facebook did this other thing because they got sued, but whatever, it doesn't matter why they did it, but they did it. And they progressed a little bit and they said, okay, fine. Any competitor ad that you see, you get to click these 3 little dots up here and then click on this, why am I seeing this ad thing? And it'll tell you the interests that they're targeting that got that ad in front of you. Funny thing about being a real estate marketer or a coach or whatever the hell, you usually end up seeing your competition's ads. You'll usually end up seeing your niche's ads. Eventually, after you've clicked on a few pages, Facebook's like, oh, this guy loves that shit. And they'll show it to you over and over again. Just take the time, click the dots. Oops. Click the dots, click the why am I seeing this ad, and you'll get a whole list of interests. You'll also get to see your own interests, which if you've done a bunch of it, that might be good for you as well. Or if you used to be in your own niche, it'd be good. All of these combinations of things, you'll be able to absolutely crush the target, level it up far beyond the next level. Most importantly, guys, don't give up early because it doesn't just print money right away. It doesn't mean you need to pull the plug. A lot of people, especially when they're running their own shit, are this dude right here. They get started, they get a little bit, they get started, they get a little bit, and then like, sad face, turn around, walk away. The number one reason most agencies are failing at this is because they're way more sensitive about their own money and their own ads than they ever would be for their clients, and they pull the plug way too early instead of giving the platform the time it needs to optimize, instead of figuring out what it is that they need to work, instead of isolating variables, right? Building lists and creating the flywheel. Now, the final piece to the 400K pie, and everybody's still with me. Drop me a 1 in the chat. We're still rocking this out. How's everybody doing? Good? 1. It actually looks like most of you guys are awake, so that's fantastic. Good, guys, good. So let's talk about the final piece of the 400K pie, right? This is taking it and scaling it out a little bit. Group growth and building the lists. Now, for us specifically, we do 2 things. 1, simple ads like this. So you guys have probably seen this ad running for a little bit. We took actually one of these trainings. We did it on a Thursday. Everybody loved it so much. We put it in a guide and we gave it away for people on the internet. And all we said was, hey, here's this amazing, scary offer. Knock out a month's worth of content in less than an hour. Good content too. The kind that actually gets you more traffic and leads. We did a free training on it. Want it, click learn more. All this is they actually click, they submit their name and their email, and then on the thank you page of the form for this one, they go to the group, and then there's a whole email sequence about driving them back to the group. Go to the group and get the thing. Go to the group and get the thing. Hey, you wanted the thing, go to the group, right? Over and over and over again, and that's all it is. The other variation of this is a simple funnel that does the same thing. It goes to a funnel instead of the lead form. You guys have probably seen it. It looks a lot like the other one that we had. Click on it, name, email, thank you page has the link to go to the group, probably to join the VIP too. And again, drives them to the group over and over again. It allows us to fill up all of our buckets. It allows us to use the community to nurture everybody specifically so that we can push the flywheel forward. We need to get them into the evaluators page. That's our whole purpose. You don't know who the hell we are. I want you to kind of learn. And I use the free trainings because I think our free trainings are amazing personally, but I'm biased. So I want you to watch the free trainings and I want you to exist in our community because you'll end up in a few more of our free trainings. Eventually, probably ending up in the VIP, which will progress you probably to the GSD, as long as we're doing our jobs, giving you value and creating a success for you. And so this whole thing is able to be accomplished by building that list out, by creating that thing that makes it all work. Okay. Last thing I want to say on this is I want to give you guys a rule that we use. So this is important as you scale up. This is important to understand that as you scale, you need to learn the 80-20 testing rule. What this is 80% of your budget goes towards what's working. Always, no matter what, because we can get really tempted to go try new shit. And I've seen a lot of people do a lot of things that go way off the fucking rails because they chased a shiny object. In fact, again, I want everybody to put a 1 in the chat if you've ever completely fucked up something that probably was working, at least it was working, by chasing a shiny object and then neglecting the other thing. Right.
And then you go back and the other thing didn't work.
Yeah, then you go back and turn
That's
it on.
typically what happens.
Yeah, because it's just and guys, I want to point out too. Look at all the people when you guys are dropping the ones in the chat and you're talking to the chat and all this shit today, and we're all admitting our mistakes and we're moving forward from it. Look at everybody else doing the same thing and remind yourselves that you're not an idiot. You're normal for this kind of shit. Because I think a lot of people get a little down on themselves because social media is a highlight reel and everybody looks around and everybody kicking ass all the time. Like every time they have something that doesn't work, they let it get really into their head. And they start feeling like, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe this isn't for me, all this other shit. When reality is like, you look inside these things, when you have people that are being honest with one another, like, oh yeah, I fuck up all the time. That's what everybody's doing. There's always problems, guys, is everybody's creating the same mistakes. And the highlight reel can get you down on that. So just take some solidarity in the fact that all these other people are doing the same shit. And what I want you guys to start living by is this: testing new stuff. And this is like absolute maximum. You can go less. 80-20 rule. Started living by this year mostly, and it's really helped with quite a bit. Because this is like, you're one flywheel away, you're one funnel away. Well, you can optimize it, make it better, test some other shit, because you're always going to want to test new shit. There's always shiny object syndrome, no matter who you are. It's always coming around. But if you stick to this as you scale, you'll be able to occasionally find stuff that works really well and plug it into your overall system, as long as it's congruent and it works together with everybody else, and just progress with 20% on testing new stuff to try and find the new, and use the rapid fire testing for this, right? Rapid fire testing, find new right offer and new right person to put this stuff in front of. So using the skills that you learned today, okay, you could absolutely create this, be able to succeed with it by doing this for the new stuff that you're testing. Make sense? Cool. Love it. Now, let's go back. So again, this final piece right here, guys, this is what allows you to continuously scale. And I want to harp on this for one more second. Community is super important.
Hey, man, did I just catch it coming out? I like that. Is that a chisel?
There we go. Cool. This is super important because this is what allows us to monetize the back end, right? So when we're looking at the customer journey back here, right, we need to be monetizing people as they go, not just right here. That's the group growth ads and the free trainings and the lists, and being able to progress them through this. So this part is important, to not always be chasing the front end sales, not needing it. We spend a bunch of money on this, and I know from the results, because we use all the shit, the first month or two we made a little bit back, but now we're starting to progressively make more and more, because the people who have been in the group for a couple of months are now buying into the shit. Now the people from before buying into the VIP. It'll take another month or two for some of them to progress into the GSD. That's just the way it works. So being okay with that and using this as the way to fill up your piece of your flywheel, right? Now you have an ad that can push each section of this through, and you'll be able to progressively create a system that allows your paid marketing, your organic marketing, and your entire flywheel to be gaining momentum, to be able to be progressing. It's important for you. It's important for your clients. Fair?
Yeah. Now going a little bit deeper on this, like when Cody mentioned about like building that client, building that database, and being able to sell to existing clients more and more value now that you've got them as a client, using an ads approach, an offer approach, all these testing approaches. Like I dropped earlier in the chat, but this thing's been, you guys have been super duper like interactive, which is great. But there's that 4-10 rule, the 10-10-10-10 rule, right? It used to be 3, it's 4 now, right? This is how we double our business without doubling price, without doubling our customer count, and also staying lean and mean, and then also very green, like profitable, okay? So if we just grow our clients by just 10%, and we increase our price by only 10%, we ask for referrals just from 10% more of our customers, and we get 10% more repeat purchasers, you'll have a compound effect that looks like a hockey stick. And that's how you're going to double your business in a year. And it's about filling the buckets. And one of these buckets is through paid traffic. Other things we didn't cover here, which we do in the VIP and the GSD, is organic content, managing groups, and other methods to bring people back. So that's how you can actually make some real bucks without working with 100, 200 clients. Like, how many of you guys even want 200 fucking clients right now? Right? Or would you rather have, like, make $500,000 this year, like starting today? Like, if you work your ass off for the next year, $500,000's easy peasy. You just got to have the right systems, the right work ethic, the right attitude, the right systems, the right community. The fourth 10, I'll repeat all 10 or all 4. 10% new clients, increase your price by 10%, get 10% more referrals, and then get 10% more repeat purchases. So the same client comes back and repeat purchases. Like, you guys saw me live pick up the phone on Saturday, repeat purchase. When was his previous purchase? Thursday. When was that guy's previous purchase before that? 2 weeks prior. When was his previous purchase before that? 5 years ago. So that's how it all works in conjunction as a business unit, right? Because there's not going to be a magic bullet. There's not going to be a shiny object. We're going to create business systems. Part of that system is the law of attraction through this ads training. Make sense to everybody? Just drop it in the chat. Yep. Makes sense. You finally helped me. Love free. Dope. All right, cool. All right, what do we got in store, Cody?
Well, a couple things. Number one, guys, I know we talked about it already, but it's not just us. We implemented this same system for a client, scaled them to their first ever 200K month, and now actually 6 in a row, and I think they're going to hit 250 this month. And they were stuck at 100K for about 1.5 years. And I know saying they were stuck at 100K a month, that some of you guys are like, oh yeah, fuck them. But it is a thing. You still want to grow in business. You got to grow. You got to do better. Within 60 days of us working with them, we were able to get them up to 200 by implementing a lot of this shit. And not only them, but we also did it for another coach who had their first ever 400K month, doing the same damn thing, hitting 400K a month within 4 months of working with us after being stuck with an old, outdated funnel that wasn't actually making the money, by the way, because they weren't tracking anything. We were able to turn that around, implement some new shit, make it a little bit better, and actually test some stuff while tracking it. And that allowed us to scale them all the way to 400K a month and keep them there, which is super important. Our own success that we've had by implementing this, along with a lot of students who have done so bad specifically that have had success. And by bringing it all together, guys, we do a lot of these trainings. I mean, we do a lot every single week on paid traffic. We do a lot every single week on some organic stuff that can help you bring it all together. And we talk a lot about the reverse high ticket that kind of creates that flywheel. The VIP room specifically goes over a lot of these concepts that we talk about, and we get to go in depth with them with direct training with it every single week so that you can spend some face time with us, make this shit happen, and actually put it in. So all you got to do, again, if you don't have this yet, guys, drop me a hashtag VIP if somehow you've not gotten the link for it and you don't know and you want in down in the chat. All it is skip Starbucks. Skip Starbucks tomorrow. Don't go to the Starbucks and instead learn how to build, tens of thousands of dollars worth of revenue. I think that would probably be your best bet, because we're about to end this here in just a second and we're going to move over to that intimate space. Now, the one thing about that too, guys, is that we are going to go do this side-by-side training right now in a minute. But the last thing here really is that you need to have the link for that. If you're already in the VIP, by the way, guys, raise your hand if you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about when I say the networking chat, so that one of our team can get that over to you, because that's where the VIP link will be dropped here in about T-minus 10 minutes, so that we can head over to that intimate session. If you want to join us in there, you can sit side by side with us. We're going to really dive in deep, have some personal questions, get specific on it, have some good Q&A time. You can just hop in there for $7. You're going to get weekly versions of this, all of this stuff. It's absolutely fantastic. The Agency Foundations course, which is over a dozen hours of our best trainings on actually creating hundreds of free appointments in your calendar using organic marketing. That's worth more than $7 alone. I think we used to sell it for more than that, $500, I think. SaaS Agency Accelerator, which is a free print. We paid a lot of money to acquire this and put this together and do this. I don't know. I'm not going to keep selling it. $7. Join in if you want to be a very important person. I shouldn't have to say anything other than that. I have the power to make you very important, and it's only $7. hop in.
Let me tell you one other thing. Like, I charge $1,000 for a one-on-one with me. So if you want a one-on-one, buy that instead of this, and we'll give you this.
That's also true.
Yeah. It's on my Calendly. So
Last-
if you guys got $7 worth of value, jump in blindly, just do it. Close your eyes, get your credit card, memorize the digits, and type them in. Because we're about to just literally drop this off. We're gonna want you guys in here. We want you guys to have access. You got to make your move, because if you don't believe in investing in yourself, just look in the mirror and expect that type of customer to haunt you for good.
Yeah, you are the type of customer that you attract, or something like that.
Yeah, and like I make this joke, and I'm gonna make it true. Cheap people find other cheap people on Craigslist, right? So don't be that cheap person. Just jump in. We'll buy you a burrito at Chipotle if we need to.
Yeah. I mean, this shit here, guys, honestly, these two courses are worth so much more. Like, fuck, I guess the fact that you get high ticket coaching for people who charge a shit ton of money is like a secondary thing, because these are worth way more than $7 just by themselves. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, dude, does anybody think that this coaching, this training, who's already VIP, is worth more than the last coaching program that you bought and the coaches kind of fucked you over? Do you guys agree with that?
Undoubtedly, but it wasn't a purposeful fuck over.
Yeah, whether intentional or unintentional, the outcome is what you bought. Right. And I know some of you guys in this chat have been in through some people I know. Some of their programs.
I know that some of the people in the chat, I was the ads training in their program, so hopefully they think that
Yeah, you've probably seen Cody in their training.
the rest.
Yeah.
One last thing, guys, before we rock out. Obviously, there's a bunch of testimonials. You guys have seen all these. You've been through all our funnels, so you get it. If you're interested in putting something like this together, even if you're not in the VIP or whatever you want to do, a campaign that works for you or your clients, done for you funnels, ad copy, and targeting that kills, done for you ads set up during a private session with this guy. If you thought today was good and you thought I trained it pretty well, we're doing a little bit of a bonus. So you get complete GSD access, training, all that shit. But as a bonus, you get all the rest of this shit, including a done for you ad setup training, a one-on-one with me to help make sure that you personally or your clients, if you want to use it for your clients, that's fine. If you have a super important client that you just absolutely need to crush it for, I can help you with that. We're doing a bonus run of this new offer. It's extremely accessible payment plans for the right people. I don't want to do it for more than 10, specifically just because I'm using my own damn time for it. So, without the swear words, I want to give you guys the space and not completely crush myself for it. So if you want that, if that's something you'd be interested in, drop me a fire emoji. I like fire emojis. So drop a fire emoji in the chat for me. See if there's anybody interested in that. If not, we'll hop off. If there is. Okay, we got a couple. Coach Lee, I will DM you myself because of the reasons that you're already in the GSD program, but I'll still give you the thing because you're awesome. Everybody else that's dropping fire emojis, Jason, are you there? Mr. Jason.
Yeah, I'm here.
There we go. Can you drop your link in the chat, please? And also note of, there's a bunch of them. And let me see. Heath dropped the fire emoji too. He just also wanted to put the star face. That's cool.
Okay, I'll drop it right here.
Already in the GSD.
All right, we're gonna drop the link. So Dave T, you messaged me privately, maybe by mistake. You can Jason's just gonna drop the link right now. So everybody just kind of take a minute, click that link, and then pick a time, and then just do it quickly because we're gonna go VIP pretty soon.
Yes, if
Alex, I don't know if you're still there. Alex, if you wanted to hop in the VIP, just do it now. I'm not going to DM you. The link's in the chat already. It's $7. You already heard the price. So if you want to hop in, you can have access to all this stuff. Otherwise, it'll be we're calling it a wrap in a few minutes here. So here's the link for the VIP last call for y'all, and then Jason's or the calendar link is right above. So while you guys kind of click that link and fill in whatever fields you need to fill in. If you guys have any of the VIPs, if you have questions, you can ask some general questions right now, and then we'll keep the juice for our private once we cut the stream in a sec.
So you just drop a 1 in the chat, guys, after you've clicked the link and actually booked, so that I know we got everybody and we don't cut it off early because I don't want to kick you guys out. The VIP link, the link for the VIP room will be dropped in the VIP chat, Andrea.
Or whoever. Yeah, that works. Oh yeah.
It'll be done immediately after we sign off. Just want to make sure that we are getting people booked.
Yeah, and while we're waiting for people to just book, like, how are you guys what's your next move? Like, what's your biggest takeaway right here, right now? If you can share, what was your favorite one part? I know there was a lot of parts, but if you had to pick one, what's the favorite thing that you learned or relearned from a different perspective? Because when we say repetition is the mother of success, that's what it's meant to actually mean. If we repeat the same action over and over and over, we become machine-like, kind of like Michael Jordan. He probably shoots 1,000 free throws every day, therefore he's the GOAT. Then you have the other donkeys that don't shoot free throws and they think they're good enough, and they fucking suck. They're going to be insignificant, not in the top 100. If we do the simple steps over and over and over again, people love it. You love it. Your money loves it. Your bank account loves it. Your wife loves it. Your husband loves it. Right? Everybody loves it. So it's just a simplicity thing, because our mind is going to get. What's that?
I think my brain loves it.
Yeah, and it sometimes, like, I don't care what age you are, it doesn't really matter. Sometimes you've learned something long ago, and then we'll release it out of you so it makes sense and clicks faster. That's just what happens when you relearn it from a different perspective, or you hear the right person telling it to you. A, you might believe it more. B, it may actually come out of you saying, oh shit, I was stuck because of one little thing. This made it clear, so I didn't like lose all my money from all these other investments. We'll bring that shit out of you. Even those college donkeys, like your professors, we'll make sure you can pay your college loans back off too. Okay, Jason will get you guys all the VIP chats to make sure you guys are in there. You guys will have your access to your portals. We'll send you a video and tag you in it. We actually have it in our Facebook group, the video of the tour of all the stuff you have access to. It's a lot of stuff of access. And then just keep in mind, there's priorities, right? Just because you have a lot of information doesn't mean you have to go through it all. You just go through what's the priority to you at first, and that sets you free. You don't have to overindulge, like going to an all-you-can-eat buffet and you feel like you got to try everything, because you'll just go out with a sick stomach, right? Same thing with knowledge. Like, whatever your 100% of what you need to learn right now is, focus there, because we'll give you a lot of stuff. We'll give you access, but every level has a new devil. So let's just focus on today, and then we'll start to level up like a staircase. Okay. We just want to keep everything as simple as possible, because that's all complex business systems are. It's just a series of very simple steps, and we just get better with momentum. All right. Got a quote. Think about the impact we have on people's lives and income as marketers. Exactly. We're powerful people. Powerful people. If you're good at marketing and you couple that with being good at sales, and you change a lot of people out there.
All right, guys, if you haven't booked yet, do it now. We got T-minus 4 minutes. I'm going to give a timeline because we got to hop over into the VIP room. And if somehow you're still not a VIP, do that too. And then we're going to hop in. We're going to get intimate. We're going to get in there and talk about some good shit. We're
going to get intimate, play some sexy music. We're going to have some fun.
That's when I cut it. Cool. So I'll let you guys have that party. I'll go somewhere else.
We got some Cinemax music. I'm just kidding. We'll have some fun.
I completely forgot to check the Facebook group throughout this entire presentation, so hopefully that's going well. Everybody in Facebook land, you rock. Anybody have a problem with the link? There was a bunch of you guys that said one, fire emojis, all that shit. Anybody have an issue with the link, or are we feeling good? We got it all. Everything's good. Thumbs up. Give me some ones in the chat if you were able to successfully get it done. We'll wrap up and we will head over to. Got a 1 there. Okay, good. It worked. 1 there. Good. That worked too. Cool. All right, guys. 2 more minutes. And we'll rock. You know what? Too much silence. You guys got the link. We're going to rock. Anybody that does not have there's a few people. Amir, I pinged you in the chat. So Jason added you to it. We pinged you in it. Hopefully
It's on Facebook when he says the chat. So
Yeah.
go to Facebook Messenger, and then you guys should all see that chat pop up.
Facebook chat. That is where it is. Jason added you to it. I pinged you in it. So hopefully you found it. Can you just confirm that for me, please? I know you were looking for it. I don't want to leave you in the dust because that's where we're going to drop the link. I'm just going to assume you're good because I'm not seeing anything from you. Cool. Any problems last second on links, VIPs, not understanding where we are? I'm going to give you a drum roll. And assume your lives are perfect. Thank you, everybody, for showing up today. I had a fantastic time. I always do. You guys are amazing. Some of you took amazing action. Some of you hid your faces all day. I'll assume that's because you're stuffing your faces with food. I don't know, but we're going to go have a nice little session and get a little bit more in depth about how to make this shit absolutely crush in the VIP room. Everybody else, I'll see you next time. Hope you got as much out of this as I did giving it to you. If you don't mind, dropping some takeaways underneath the live stream in the Facebook would be appreciated. Otherwise, have a great rest of your day. Take action and get shit done. Bye, everybody.